Hello Year 7 and welcome to Percentage Conversions. Okay, let's get started. So you probably already know what a percentage is, but if you don't, percent means out of 100. Per means out of, and cent means 100, which is why you see things like centimeters, which mean 1/100th of a meter. So for example, 27% means 27 out of 100, and this is our percentage sign here, and if you look at it, you can almost imagine like it's 100. See, it's got a 1 through the middle and 2 zeros on either side, so it's kind of like 100 that's just been turned on its side and then the ones put between the 2 zeros. The other thing our percentage sign looks like, it also looks a little bit like a fraction, so you can imagine this is the numerator, this is the denominator, and here's the line or the vinculum in this fraction if we were to imagine it as a fraction. Okay, so let's now get started with some questions. I want you to write 21% as a fraction, nice and easy. Remember, percent here just means out of 100. Okay, so pause the video and write it down. Good, hope you're done. And 21 out of 100, nice and easy, no real tricks there. Okay, let's try our next question. We're going to write 92% as a fraction. Not super difficult, so have a go and don't forget to simplify your fraction. Pause the video and write your answer down. Alright, you're all done? Good, let's check our answers. And we get 92% equals to 92 out of 100, but we can go one step further because we can divide the top and bottom by 4, and we get 23 out of 25, which is, I hope, the answer you got. Okay, let's try a few more questions. So pause the video and have a go at these 4 questions. Write all 4 of these as fractions and then unpause the video when you're done to check your answer. Okay, so let's hope you're all done and you've got your answers in front of you. So let's do it. We've got 6%, which is 6 out of 100, and that simplifies to 3 out of 50. We've got 50%, which is 50 out of 100, and that simplifies to 1 out of 2. 210%, which is 210 out of 100. That simplifies to 21 out of 10. You can see I'm dividing it by 10 there. Or 2 1/10 if you want a mixed numeral. And 0.5%. So the way that I did this one is I just wrote 0.5 out of 100 and I times the top and bottom by 10 to move the decimal point and make it 5 out of 1,000. And then I simplified 5 out of 1,000, dividing the top and bottom by 5, and I got 1 out of 200. But maybe you did it a bit faster. Maybe you just times the top and the bottom by 2 and then did double 0.5 is 1 and double 100 is 200, and you got straight to the answer. Okay, let's look at our next question. So now I want you to write 0.37 as a percentage. Have a go at this one, and maybe you might want to write it as a fraction first. So pause the video and unpause it when you're done. Okay, let's hope you've got your answer in front of you. So what did I do? The first thing is I wrote 0.37 as a fraction, and I wrote that as 37 out of 100, which we already know how to do. And then I said, oh, well, 37 out of 100 means 37%. And there's my 100, and there's my percentage sign. The other way I can do it is I could times 0.37 by 100%. And 100% is technically just 1, so I'm not changing it. So I get my 0.37 times it by 100, which means I move the decimal place 2 spots over to the right, and I put my percentage sign there, and it's 37%. And both of these ways are acceptable, although realistically you're probably going to use method 2 a little bit more often. Okay, let's try another one. And we're going to go backwards. So write 73% as a decimal. Pause the video and have a go, and unpause it when you're done. Okay, hopefully you're all done. And did you get? You could say 73% is 73 over 100, which you know from previous lessons is 0.73. Or maybe you tried it the other way and you did 73% divided by 100%. Now, if you divide by 100%, this percentage sign and this percentage sign kind of cancel out, which is why I don't have a percentage sign in this part anymore. And then I just move my decimal place 2 spots over here to the left, 1 and 2, and I get 0.73. Let's hope you got that, and here's some more for you to practice with. So pause your video and please have a go at these 4 questions. I want you to write these percentages as decimals and unpause when you're done. Okay, let's hope that you are all done and let's check our answers. Okay, so let's now look at these answers. 75%, we just move the decimal point 2 spots to the left and get 0.75. That's nice and easy. 90%, we move the decimal point 2 places to the left, and I got 0.90 because there's my 90 again, but 0.90 and 0.9 are the same thing, or for the time being we're going to say they're the same thing, so I don't need to bother writing this 0. 250%, well, 2 spots to the left again, and I get 2.50, which, as I explained before, is the same as 2.5. And the final one, we had 0.02%. So I move my decimal place 2 spots to the left, 1, 2, and now I've got 1, 2, 3 zeros after the decimal point, and I needed to squeeze an extra 0 on here in front of the decimal point, so I've got 0.0002. Very small number, and it's completely fine to have a decimal and a percentage in the one number. It just means that it's a very, very small number. Okay, so now you've done those, let's try the next round of questions. So we're going to do the same kind of thing but just backwards. Write the following decimals as percentages. So pause the video, you've probably got a pretty good idea what to do, and pause the video and have a go at all 4 questions. Okay, so you're back. I hope you've gotten all these right. Let's check. So we've got 0.32, times it by 100%, decimal point moves 2 places, 32%. Nice and easy. Alright, this one, 1.5. I've times it by 100%. That means I need to move my decimal point 2 places, but because I only had a 1.5, I only had 1 spot to move my decimal place, so I just added my 0 here and I moved it 2 places. I added this extra green 0 and I got 150%, but I'm guessing you guys already know that 1.5 times 100 is 150. Okay, next one, we had a really, really small number, 0.00003. So we move our decimal point 2 spaces, 1, 2, and I've got a 003 after the decimal point. I only need to put 101 before this decimal point, and I've got a really, really small number, 0.003%. And the final one, well, it's pretty similar. We just go 1.027, move the decimal point 2 places, and we get 102.7%, because of course I'm just multiplying everything by 100%. Okay, I hope you guys went okay with that one. So, one last question. I'd like you to finish up by writing 2 sevenths as a percentage and round this off to the nearest whole number or the nearest whole percentage. Pause your video and have a go at that. Okay, let's hope you're all done and your video's now unpaused. So What I'm going to do here is I'm going to write 2/7 as a decimal first because I know how to do that, and then I'm going to convert it to a percentage. It's kind of hard to make 2/7 a percentage right away because I can't really convert 7 to 100 by timesing it by any convenient number like I could if I had 50 on the bottom. I could just times it by 2. So let's do it. We divide 2 into 7 and we go like this, and you guys know how to do a division. You've done a bunch of them already, so it's 0.2857, and this is going to go on forever and ever and ever. It's going to be a repeating decimal as we saw before, but after I've got this 0.28, I'm already pretty close. I know when I convert it to a percentage, it's either going to be 28 or 29%, depending if I round it up or down. And then I just get the next number. It's a 5. Yep, pretty sure it's going to round up. Get the next one just for fun. And I've got 0.2857, blah, 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 a whole bunch of numbers up there. I times it by 100%, and that's moving the decimal point this way to the right, and I've got 28.57%, and that rounds up to 29%. Okay guys, thank you very much. We're done. Please see the Google Classroom where hopefully the homework will be written for today, and I'll see you in the next video.